Welcome back to the channel. Today we are getting the car sent out to Ranch Built. I just picked up the trailer. A buddy of mine is helping me push this car and getting it out to Ranch Built. I only have I think it's 10 days left until this car needs to be running, so it is a little bit of a time crunch. We'll see what Ranch Built can do for us. We just got the car loaded up on the trailer. It is now time to head out to Ranch Built. So we got the car all dropped off at Ranch Built. Now it's just a waiting game. So I think I'm going to pick up this video when I pick up the car, do the first start, and fix the alternator issue, figure out what's going on with the alternator bracket. I'm sure it's something simple. It was just, it was like 4:30 a.m. I was working on the car since 9, so I was pretty tired, and sometimes when you get tired, you miss simple things. So I'll take a look at that. I'm assuming it'll be a week until I get the car back. I leave in 10 days. It's kind of a time crunch, but hopefully everything is solid besides alternator, and we have everything working smoothly for us. Hopefully no leaks, or at least very minimal and easy to fix. I'll pick you guys up when we pick up the car. We are now fast forwarding in this video exactly a week. It is now Thursday morning, and we picked the car up from fabrication last night. I brought my camera to record everything, and as I went to turn on the camera, I realized I left the battery at home charging. So I'm still a rookie, new to this, so I wasn't unfortunately able to get any clips of the car at Ranch Built and whatnot, but I have the car here at the shop. And here she is. Turbo kit is all mounted up, and it looks pretty damn good. I'm very, very happy with it. This is just a temporary kit as well. I know it kind of seems weird. I just spent all this money to get this turbo kit made, but I really want the turbo to be clocked and the inlet in the headlight. But obviously for that, I needed to relocate a lot of stuff, and given the timeline I gave Ranch Built, that just wasn't in the tables or in the books. So that is completely fine. This turbo, it still looks very good there. So I can't complain at all. Also, last night, I finally got the alternator to work. It was just the last time at 4 a.m. when I was working on it. It was just too long of a day, and my brain stopped working. But we got the alternator all on, tensioned, everything is good to go. I am still working on this throttle body. What I ended up doing was getting a bigger throttle body, which comes with a spacer, which hopefully I thought would push the throttle body out enough and I can clock it, but I am running into an issue of it hitting this bracket. This is where the stock location alternator would sit. This is how you would adjust the tension. So I'm not quite sure what to do with this. You can see I tried cutting into it last night, but my disc is too small and I can't get all the way through. Every picture I've seen online, this bracket is removed, which you can remove it. It's just a couple bolts, but I'm confused because this bracket is what holds the power steering on. So I have to do a little bit more research and figure out exactly if I need to cut this off, take this off. Not quite sure, but what's happening is the throttle body is hitting on this bracket now. Before, because I have it rotated, before it was hitting here, and that's why I had to shave this nice billet relocation bracket. Now it's hitting this. So I have to figure that out. I'm just happy that the alternator is on the car, and we should be able to get first started today. All I have left is to figure out that throttle body, get the charge pipe put back on. I have to connect my oil feed. I have to re-angle that, connect my IAT sensors, small stuff like that, get all the fluids in, the coolant and oil, prime the system. I still need to put my double hanger in the back, so that'll be later tonight because it is currently at a buddy's house. But we should be able to get first startup tonight. Everything is ready to go. We do also today need to make another parts run. I have, as you guys know, these titanium bolts. I tried to put them throughout my entire engine bay as I could, and I put them on my intake manifold to the TGVs. But the issue I'm running into is this is the bolt I'm using. It is hard to see, but it does not thread in enough onto the actual TGV itself. My concern is I hit boost, it pulls all the threads out of it and lifts the intake manifold off of the TGVs, and that is not what I want to happen. So I'm gonna go try to find some nice like chrome or just polished like hex bolts. Not quite sure what I can find, but that is something I most definitely want to change on this car. That'd be very crappy to pull the threads on those TGVs, especially because I don't think you can buy them anymore. So that'd be kind of crappy. Today as well, I'm just trying to button up this car. I'm trying to get first startup. I do also want to throw my interior back together because all I have in the car right now is my driver's seat, as I was supposed to hit a track day earlier this year. And since I'm going to a nice car show, it'll be nice to throw the interior back together. It'll give it the whole stock interior look with a gnarly engine setup. So there's just a couple things I need to get put back together. Also, I need to put the side skirt back on. It is not focused. I need to put the side skirt back on, put this, whatever you call this emblem plate on, which I have sitting right here. Just button up the whole car today. Hoping first start goes smooth tonight. I am just waiting on a base mat from Josh. And obviously that fuel hanger, my 2450 fuel hanger. And then we should be ready to start. I don't think there's anything else I'm really missing on this. I mean, if it's something that's just a small sensor or something like that, nothing that is going to obstruct us from getting a nice startup today. But we're gonna go head out, run a few errands, come back, and get this car dialed. All right, we are now back at the shop after running those few errands I was talking about. I went and grabbed the 2050 oil I'll be using in this car. They rebranded this, so I did not find this, and I ended up going to multiple places because I did not see it because I'm used to the bright blue. But they repackaged this, which is weird. But I got the oil, 6 quarts now. The stock oil pan is 5 quarts. The Torque Solutions is 6 quarts. So I went ahead and grabbed 6 quarts so I can get oil in here once I have this thing buttoned up. I was gonna go to Ace because they have the nice hex bolts that I wanted. Well, they should have them. But at O'Reilly's, they had, I hope these are the right length, but they had some bolts there. They are gold, so they're hideous. I'm gonna make sure these work first. Just get the car running for now. If these work, then I will go down to Ace, see if they have any nice chrome hex bolts I can pick up, because that would look a lot better than having gold in this engine bay. At least the nice chrome ones will blend in with the manifold and the TGVs, but I went ahead and picked those up. I can't forget, I need to put my other aeromotive regulator on. This was from the Honda. This is obviously way too small for what I am needing, so I need to go ahead and also replace those. I do also kind of want to pull off these fuel lines. These fuel lines were just sitting out for months as my car hasn't ran. I never cleaned them when I put them on for mock-up for fab, so I kind of want to take them apart, clean them, make sure that there's nothing in there, because that would be very crappy to have something left in the fuel line. I start it clogs an injector, something like that. That'll just be way more of a headache. It'll be a lot quicker to take these off now, clean them, then run into an issue later on, even maybe after first startup that clogs the injector. Then I am delayed and can't make a show. So I can take the 30 minutes, whatever, not even that long, to take these apart, get those cleaned. Just finished up grinding. I hope it is enough cut off. I got it shaved off here. It was out to about here before, and it was just barely not clearing, so I'm hoping this is enough. I might trim it a little bit more, but I am very happy I taped underneath and put some towels down, because that is a lot of metal shavings that I do not want sitting in my engine bay. So very happy I covered this up. I may run into an issue here though. First off, my charge pipe is made for the stock throttle body, which sits here, but now it's spaced out and this is a little bit bigger. So it's gonna sit a little bit further back, which is gonna push the whole charge pipe back. I hope it clears everything when shutting the hood and whatnot. But also this is a 3 or 3.5 inch inlet as opposed to stock size versus the bigger throttle body. So I hope I can make it work. I did at Ranch Built ask if I thought it was a 3-inch coupler because my charge pipe is 3-inch. On the stock one it reduced. So I got a 3-inch in and out, but it doesn't seem like the 3-inch is big enough. In this case, there is a place local to us, intakehoses.com I believe is what they are. They have everything, so I can order one, and they have everything in stock, so I should be able to pick it up today. Worst case, tomorrow. Hoping I can somehow make this work, and the hood still closes, and it clears everything just fine. It was very close with the radiator in to begin with the expansion tank, so I hope I can make everything work. Obviously, this is not ideal. This will not be permanent. Once this car is back from the show, once I have everything in its permanent spot, and I stop changing my setups, I'll have new charge pipe made so it fits better and whatnot, but I'll make it work for the show, and it should still look pretty good. Alright, little update time. I went ahead and just pulled all the fuel lines, cleaned them out, so we should be good to go fuel line side. I also swapped back to my good Aeromotive regulator. So, though all the fuel lines are connected back, it is now time to put the throttle body on and button this car back together. Alright, and it is now the next day. It is currently Friday. I just went and picked up the coupler I was needing for my charge pipe. Thankfully, we have a place local to us in Spokane, intakehoses.com. I was able to order it last night, pick it up this morning. That was the last piece I needed to put the charge pipe on. Other than that, the car is good to go. The only thing I need to put in is I went and picked up my radium hanger last night with the two 450s in there right now. So I need to go ahead, throw that in the car. It's just, 8 wires, 8 bolts, 3 fuel lines, and it's done. Nothing fancy there. Everything's already wired for it. So it's literally just dropping in, connecting it, getting the charge pipe on, putting fluids in, and priming the system. I am still waiting on that base map from Josh. He's had a little hectic week though, so I can't blame him. He is trying to get prepped for race day tomorrow. It's currently 11 in the morning right now, so we still have plenty of time. I can still prime the system fine. At least I can see if I have any oil leaks just from priming it. If I do, I can go ahead and get those fixed before I get the base map, but we're getting a cold start today. Well boys, the car is now done. I just set that on the camera and I just went through, and it just required some thinking and I wasn't able to record, but we have the new charge pipe on the manifold. This was very tricky to fit. It is a very tight space. After I get back from Gatlinburg, I'm gonna have this redone just so it fits a little bit better. I did have to remove the stock expansion tank, which is fine for right now. I'm not getting any crazy boost. I shouldn't be pushing any coolant right now. I might relocate that somewhere if I can fit it in here, but I did have to remove that to make the charge pipe fit. I got the boost controller all plumbed up. Everything zip tied, tucked away. Everything is connected. The only thing that is left is just to throw in the battery. I just have it sitting on a charger over there because it was dead. Put fluids in it and it's good to go. I haven't put fluids in yet. I'm just waiting still on the base map from Josh. He has a hectic day, so I can't rush him too much. Hopefully, I don't have any leaks though, because that'd be crappy to wait till the end of the day to get the first startup and then from nighttime have to deal with leaks, because right now there's nothing left for me to do on this car. I did also get the fuel hanger and pumps installed. The lighting in here is quite bad. I don't know if you guys can see. The lighting is bad, but I have the radium dual hanger in there with the two 450s all wired up. I haven't put the cap back on just in case something were to fail. It's easy to take it out and replace something. Once the car runs, then I can 100% button down everything else. But the car is ready to start. I take that back. I do need 2 vacuum lines. I have lent them out to people that need them. I need a 1/4 inch for my fuel pressure, and I need this, I think it's a 3/8 for my blow-off valve line. The car would start with those missing, just it wouldn't run the best, especially without the blow-off valve line on. But this car it's ready to go. I'm very excited. I was getting very nervous though about getting this to fit because it was already such a tight fit before on the stock throttle body. The throttle body is bigger and I had to space it out about 1 inch. And it pushed it out this way, which it was already hitting this radiator line and it was hitting the expansion tank before, so I had to remove the expansion tank. But everything fits like it should, and it doesn't look half bad as well. Alright, so we just got back to the shop. I did have to leave because as I was doing all the looking over and prep before I was going to start this, Josh called me and asked me if I got my injectors cleaned when they have been sitting, which I completely forgot to do, and obviously I was not about to start my car in case my injectors were stuck open or whatever, and that would have taken out my motor. So huge shout out to Ranch Built. I called Chris and said I need my injectors cleaned right now. Told me to come by. So they got my injectors cleaned up for me, and they were actually perfectly good. But it was just one less thing to not worry about. Injectors are good. I'm gonna go ahead and put those back in the car. I got the 2 vacuum lines I needed for the fuel pressure regulator and the blow-off valve. I'm gonna put fluids in here and we'll start her up. And we just got the 6 quarts of the 2050 VR1 oil inside the car. It's dry underneath, so that's the first good sign that is there's no holes anywhere. So now all we have left to do is put in the coolant. All right, now it is later in the evening, just got back from a nice dinner. It is now time to put coolant in her and get the first startup. Well, it is currently now the next day. Excuse my bedhead. I think I completely forgot to end out the video last night. After I got the car started, I was just way too happy. Very successful first start though. As you guys probably saw in the video, it was not wanting to start for a little bit there. I don't know how much I'm gonna cut out of that. But we were able to put some starting fluid in, sprayed in the inlet of the turbo, and it started right up. This car has been sitting for quite a while, so it just needed an extra little push to get started. It is also just on a base map right now. Don't know if that affects anything, but I mean, I'm sure once we get this car properly dialed and tuned, it shouldn't have any issues starting. But yeah, I was very successful. I have 2 small leaks. I didn't think I had any leaks, but I have 2 small ones. One is coming from this fitting on this the fuel regulator, which is not a problem because I have a lot of different fittings, so I can get that replaced. More of just a pain to do. I hate doing fuel line stuff, hate putting fittings on, but we'll get that taken care of. And I do have one other small leak I didn't notice yesterday, and that is coming from, it's hard to see, but it's coming from my dipstick, the O-rings that go into the oil pan. I was kind of sussed out about it when I put it in, and turns out they're leaking. So I'm gonna go run down to Subaru right now, probably just grab a brand new dipstick and 2 new O-rings, fresh, and get that replaced, and we should be good to go. I think that's gonna end it for today's video though. I can't remember exactly the footage I have. I believe this was just all the fabrication and getting the car running. I think that's gonna end it for today's video. The next video will be driving this car, getting some break-in miles, and we leave here for Gatlinburg in 2 days. So there'll be videos. I'm trying to do daily vlogs down in Gatlinburg. Not quite sure how that's gonna lay out, but that is the goal. My STI is running again, and I could not be more excited. And it sounds so good. The turbo whine, whistle, whatever you want to call it, is amazing. The exhaust sounds amazing. I'm very happy, and I cannot wait to drive this. I'll see you guys in the next one.